All right, y'all. So clearly I'm in my car right now. It is October 13th. And I'm just doing an update from, I don't remember what the last update was. But I know everyone is wondering how it went taking the Letrozole. And I don't even know where to start. So, took the Letrozole starting the third day of my last period, which was, the first day was August 27th. So, took the Letrozole starting the third day like I was supposed to. And I have a whole video about how that went, any side effects, things like that. And so I took that, you know, I didn't notice like any change. I didn't feel different after it was done. So, you know, we went on, kept measuring temperatures, did that, you know, baby dance when we were supposed to, plus more. And so, you know, September comes around and I have an appointment. I had an appointment on September 24th, I think. And at that time, I want to say my math is not with me right now. I was late from when I should have started, basically, because my cycles are normally 26 to 28 days. And so when I went, you know, he was like, oh, well, let's just take a look, see if we see anything. And so he didn't do like a vaginal ultrasound. He just did a regular one, which I thought was kind of weird because, you know, normally like early on, I'm used to like with my other pregnancies having to do the uncomfortable vaginal ultrasound. But he was looking at my tubes and everything, not my tubes, my ovaries, my uterus, seeing if he saw anything. At that time, he said he didn't see anything. And so he said, you know, just let him know if it doesn't come and just keep a watch for it. And so I said, okay. So everything else was fine at that visit. And so the first week of October, like the following week. So like that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I took pregnancy tests because I still didn't have a period. And they all came back positive except for the one digital that I took. The digital was a clear blue digital, and the other ones, I took several first response ones, and then I took a couple clear blue because I know everyone always says, oh, blue dye's terrible, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If you're going to get a positive, you're going to get a positive is what I feel like. But that's not what this video is about. And so I told him, like, I called the doctor and I said, hey, this is what I got. I said all of them are positive except for the digital one. So he wanted me to come in actually the next day, but because of work, I could not come in that Thursday. So I had to wait until Friday. And I drove up there. It's like it's an hour, 45 minutes from where I live. And so I drove up there that Friday. And he did a test in his office and also another ultrasound. When he looked at my uterus this time, he said that he saw, and I could see it too, it was like the circle thing. I won't call it like a blob. It was just like a tiny spot that wasn't the same color as everything else. And so he said, you know, that could be something. It's still too early, because at the time I would have only been like 4 weeks and 3 or 4 days, I think, at the time. And so he said, let's see what our urine test says. And so the urine test came back that it was negative. So then he was like, well, let's get blood. And so I had to wait until Monday to get blood drawn because of what time it was. And so then I got that done the following Monday. And so then, which was the 4th. Monday the 4th is when I got blood drawn. That Wednesday, the 6th, is when I got the results that it was, what did he say? I want to say he said my HCG was at 8 or 9, which I get is like really barely pregnant. It's really super low. But I didn't understand the negative digital and the negative one at his office. And so I was asking him questions, and he was like, well, it could be chemical. It could be the fact that it's just too early. He said there's a number of things that can make it, you know, be low. And so he said, you know, let's do another draw in a few days and see. So we're almost up to speed now. Today is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday the 13th. Monday, I called his office and was like, hey, just checking because I hadn't gotten any results back. Like, nothing was posted to my patient portal. And normally, like, he calls me and it's on my patient portal. And so I called just to get, like, an update to see, you know, what it said. Because I was just expecting it to be, like, lower. But whatever. And the nurse was like, we don't have any results. She's like, let me call the place and see what the deal is. So a couple hours go by, she calls me back and she's like, they don't have any record of you coming or your test results. And I'm like, so where's my blood? Right? And so she's like, you know, let me call again and see if I can figure out, you know, what happened to it. And so, like, where I live, the place that draws the blood are not the ones who actually run the test. They have to have it picked up, and then it gets taken, I think, to Kansas for whatever reason. And that's how they do it. So really, they're just like the blood collectors. And so I'm like, so from me walking in, drawing my blood, to them sending it off, like, who took my blood? And so she called me back again, and she was like, yeah, no. There's no record, nothing. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, do I need to go again? And she was like, well, I would hate for your insurance. And I was like, I don't care about my insurance at this point. Like, I just want to know, like, what the deal is. And so I had to go get blood drawn again yesterday. And it came back and it was still really low. And then this morning, I went to the bathroom. I'm still at work this morning, and it just was like TMI, y'all. Gushing blood in large clots. It's just really frustrating and irritating. I feel like I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, I wish I had answers. And clearly, like, when he said 8, like, I knew that wasn't super high. But, you know, I was hoping, like, with the medicine that maybe this would be the time, you know. And it just wasn't. I'm still a firm believer that everything happens in God's timing and God's plan. But, you know, it doesn't make it any less painful. And so I called the doctor asking, like, hey, do I need to come in, you know, and get anything, like, cleared out, anything like that. And so I'm waiting to get a call back. But I'm just, like, so emotionally and mentally drained right now, and I don't even, like, have energy to, like, I don't know. I'm sorry I'm on here crying, y'all. It's just really heartbreaking. Like, I know there are thousands of people out there that struggle with infertility. I know I'm not the only one. This is not a poor Jamia, woe is me type deal. I'm just trying to make sense of what's going on with my body and why things are happening the way that they're happening. So that is what's going on, you guys. I don't know if or when we'll resume trying to conceive. I just need a break right now. So that's what's going on. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below. I love you guys. Until next time, peace.